Hey everybody, Bam Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. My voice may sound a little different today because my allergies are kicking me in the butt, but the unboxings must go on. Today we have a spicy, controversial statue because of its inaccuracies to the source material, and this is Cartoon World's Battle Damage line featuring none other than Konan, coming in at their number 2 in the series. For those that recall, she did die in the hands of Tobi, or as we later on found out, Obito, in the village hidden in the rain. So we have those pipes that are being brought forth to kind of represent that village. And scattered all throughout the statue in a very dynamic way, we'll see the paper that some of it's being incinerated from some of the explosive tags I imagine that she let off against Tobi in that moment. You know, I'm going to keep on referring to him as Tobi because in that moment we had no idea it was Obito. Now over there on that side, we'll actually see that there's a break that happened during my shipment. Unfortunately, I think this statue was kind of plagued with these because there's a lot of very fragile pieces of the paper that were sculpted with the statue. We also have the 2 notches that are going to be used to mount her feet to the base. Great job overall by the studio in creating a base that has a small footprint but also heavy enough to support the character. One thing I do when gluing broken pieces is I take a fine grit sandpaper and rub it up against those parts where the clean break was, just to make a little bit of an area that's rougher so it adhesives and glue sticks a little bit better. And here's the glue that I use. Oh, dang it, this is the one I took the label off of, but here's what it looks like. You can check out the links in the description for my Bam Collectibles Amazon store. That's where you can see what the glue I use and what works for me best. But I sometimes apply this with a toothpick. For this, I'm not worried about it because anything that bleeds off of the sides is just going to blend in because it is a piece of white paper. After I get everything lined up, I'll go ahead and hold it as long as I can.
5 minutes later.
And there you have it. That's how I deal with more of these minor small breaks, right? This is a fragile collectible, and sometimes this stuff happens. Learn how to repair things yourself and take care of it. If it's obviously a serious break, contact your reseller, but because it's a piece of the diorama, I'm just going to fix the dang thing, right? Just a reminder, we are doing the giveaway for Apocalypse Studios KCM Naruto now through the end of June. Just comment on any video that releases between now and then, as well as following me on social media, Instagram or Facebook, and leave a meaningful comment on the video. At the end of the month, we'll do a live stream, select a random video and a random comment, maybe even 2 or 3 winners just in case one doesn't, reply to anything, and then we'll be doing the actual giveaway on the channel. All right, now buckle up. Things are going to get a little controversial here because the outfit that Konan is wearing is not scene accurate at all. In fact, this is way too sexy for someone's death scene if you see all the different rips and tears that are going on in her outfit. So for what they are, obviously the paint job is really nice and detailed for it. But again, it's just not something that was accurate to the show, or we didn't get to see these aspects of her as kind of an artistic interpretation. The fraying of the robe looks amazing. And obviously we have the decal graphic with the red cloud that looks awesome. There's a notch where an effect particle is going to go later. Some more of the paper. The hands were sculpted nice. We have that subtle touch of paint on the fingernails there that showcase the polish. And then the further we go up, the more inaccurate things get. So her belly button is showing with those 4 little piercings there. And here are the breasts. All I can say is the water was cold. They also were very generous with adding a lot of side boob on here. Again, this statue is kind of not something I really stand for as a collector that much. I'm not really into collecting things that I would consider a little bit pervy, but this is a statue line that I wanted to collect the complete lot of, the battle damage line, so that's why I did decide to go with it. On the back, we'll see several different notches from a bunch of effect pieces that we will install next. As we key in the notches to the grooves, just a reminder, here's how she looked like in the show. I don't really stand for the way that this statue represents her character. I don't really feel like this accurately does at all represent who she is, but just my 2 cents on the matter. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of effect pieces that were sculpted separately, and they're going to look like this, right? It's a lot of paper that is seared and singed with the flames. Now, that is a really cool effect to add on this statue. I think they executed that really nicely, and we'll see that even more so as we go up to the pieces that are on the back. A lot of these are attached to the back by magnets. So this piece right here, I actually think fell off, or maybe the glue came off because it doesn't have a magnet and it goes right into place. I may glue that later, so that's another thing where it didn't exactly break, but the glue, it loosened up, so it did fall out and was loose inside of the box there. But all the other pieces do go on with nice little tiny round magnets impacted into the square notches. And with that large last piece installed, there we have it. Almost looks like the wing is being burnt down, so crazy cool looking. Here's the other hand that was sculpted separately. Really dynamic the way that the paper is kind of going through a corkscrew around her hand. We can see the nice little decal on the ring. I think that ring actually stands for white, if I recall. I think it's just got the kanji for white. And again, that corkscrew effect, it's got the magnet inside of there. Now, just like that one back piece where it fell off, there's a piece that was on her hand here that did fall off during transit as well. I could glue it if I easily wanted to, but I want to show you. So here's the extra piece that kind of further extends that corkscrew that just goes out of her hand. And if I add that effect onto here, I kind of like it without it. I can't see her hand as much, and so I almost like that it did fall off, so I'm probably going to end up leaving it that way. Unlike Cartoon World's typical head sculpts, this one's a little bit less than perfect in my opinion, but even though it lacks perfection, I think they did do a great job with it. And one thing that I loved is if we zoom in closely, we can see that her skin is kind of folding off as the pieces of paper are beginning to unravel. So a really cool feature, a detail that I've never seen added into any statue of her yet. So while it doesn't look perfect overall, I think it is an amazing head sculpt that's innovative that they did. And for every statue, I gotta have some cool card to go with it. So here we have a custom card. So this is not one that was made in the actual Naruto CCG game. So I got this one off of eBay. If you're ever looking for some Naruto cards, you can check my links in the description. You can try to find some on there. But that's what it looks like. Pretty cool custom card. I love these. Really, they do a really good job of making them look as authentic as possible. I think that is some artwork from Naruto Blazing that they took that's on the card right there. So there's my stand I'll set this aside. And next up, one of my favorite things about the Cartoon World Battle Damage line is they give you a secondary free statue. So this is the base for that. So we have another representation of the village hidden in the rain with all those metallic looking pipes. There's her actual ring. Again, I believe that kanji is for white. And here are some chains that they sculpted that magnetize to the side of this smaller base. Now, I don't think you have to include these on there if you don't want to, but then we have this smaller chibi version of Konan. It looks amazing. We have those paper wings on the back. I'm a sucker for these super deformed, I think it's SD scale or the chibi looking scale figures of these, but this is a complete freebie that they include, and they will include for each character they release. So I love it. I think they go well with the statue. If you saw my review on Tobi or Obito, they had him as well. So they continue that for these, and they will continue for the Pain next, and then Deidara after that. But see how she connects to the stand. And again, you can put those chains on there if you'd like. I know there's many out there that aren't a fan of this style of statue, but hey, if you don't like it, it's free. Give it to your younger brother, sister, somebody who can't afford a statue. Come on. And there we have it. Here is the final reveal for everything all together. It looks incredible overall. Again, there are some aspects that I don't like. I kind of wish it was more scene accurate, but they did do a great job in making a beautiful statue for what it is. And then I mentioned the Tobi statue, the Obito statue before, but heck, why not? Let's bring them on stage and see how these look side by side. So there's his chibi version, and then here is the main statue itself. So they do look awesome. This line is extremely strong. I'm excited for it. It's actually one of my most excited lines I'm going to be collecting over the many months. Pain is shipping soon, and Deidara just went up for pre-order. If you have been sitting on this line of statues, I recommend you catch up soon because these bad boys are going to get pretty expensive over time as the line continues. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. As always, everybody, I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.